John, we're talking about employment, the HR function, and so forth. I've got a new report from Gallup that says that large numbers of workers, especially Gen Zers and young millennials, are not engaged with their jobs, and that could make their climb up the career ladder harder, as well as hurt companies' overall performance. This is from an NPR story. Employee engagement has fallen since 2020. The Gallup survey of roughly 67,000 people in 2022 found only 32% of workers are engaged with their work. And that's down from a very low number of 36% in 2020. How do we fix that? How do we get people engaged?
Well, that's a fantastic question with a lot of different answers. So there are different facets. So I would tell you that, again, when you talk about employee engagement, the employees who find meaning in their work, that immediately elevates engagement. So not just knowing what it is I'm doing, but understanding how what I do impacts the organization or the greater good for what we do. That's something that organizations do not spend a lot of time working with their staff to help them understand that, and it's a huge missed opportunity. I think another challenge that we face is, and really if you look back at the years you're talking about, there's been a big shift culturally of remote work, work from home. Isolation is a huge problem for employees. They feel disconnected, and I feel like we're ultimately cheating our future leaders, because when I was growing up in the business world, most of what I would gather, most C-level executives, it's the soft skills. It's what you catch. It's not what you're taught in school. And when you're not around the rest of the leaders, when you're not around those people in the organization, when you don't have that collaboration, the level of engagement just goes away, and I don't feel developed, which is the number one reason why people are leaving jobs today, is they feel like they're not being developed, they're not being cared for, they're not really gaining or growing. And as a result, they have to look elsewhere for that. And so there's a lot of reasons why engagement is continuing to fall. The good news is it's not a lost cause. There are things that organizations can do to turn that around, and we need to be doing it now more than ever.
Yeah, I think you're telling me it's a fixable problem, but here's another problem. I'm going to take it even further. Not only are they not engaged, but they're told not to be themselves at work. If you have your faith, don't bring that here. You have no place for faith in this organization. But in your company, faith is active and it's involved. I know your corporate chaplain because he's the corporate chaplain for Economic War Room, and he's in there meeting needs and sharing and praying for people, and you don't shy away from that. Are you afraid you're going to get in trouble?
No, and I would tell you that I think there are organizations out there who do not embrace maybe being purpose-driven, do not embrace faith in the marketplace for fear that maybe they're putting a target on their back. Again, something that I'm very passionate about, but the rules and regulations that the EEOC enforces to protect employees are the same rules that are in place to protect me as an employer. And so we made the decision years ago for our purpose to be that we glorify God and enrich the lives of others. Now, we're open to all faiths. It doesn't mean that if you work within our firm that you have to adopt or embrace our beliefs. But you have to understand that that is the fundamental principle in which we lead our organization. And because of that, we've actually found that people are more open about their faith, even differing faiths. They feel more comfortable. It's not taboo to speak about or to engage in our office. And so we found the exact opposite. And I think there are organizations across the U.S. who are understanding more and more and more the value and actually the freedom to do so without fear of retaliation.